This is the hip opening sequence. Let's start on the hands and knees with your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. Then round the spine, drawing the abdominals in. Now reverse the movement, sending your head and tailbone up to the ceiling. Draw the abdominals in again, rounding into the cat stretch. And then arch from the tailbone to the crown of the head, feeling the lower back arch. Rounding, pulling the abdominals in. And arching, sending the chest and tailbone up. You can exhale into the cat stretch to help round the spine, and inhale to help lift the chest up to the ceiling. One last one. Rounding the spine and arching the spine. Now come back to the neutral spine and we're going to do some rotation. Lift your left arm up to the ceiling, looking up to the fingertips, and then thread that arm through, bending the supporting arm, bringing your left ear down to the right hand. And again, big inhale as you reach up to the ceiling, and a deep exhale as you round through, bending the supporting arm. One more time this side, rotating your breastbone up to the ceiling, and then exhale, rounding through. See how far through can you thread your shoulder. And reset back to the start. Let's repeat that on the other side. Lift the right arm up, open the chest up to the ceiling, and exhale to thread through. Inhale again as you reach up, really open the chest, and then exhale, bend the left arm to thread yourself all the way through. See how far round can you send your right shoulder. Last time, deep inhale as you open the chest up to the ceiling, and a full exhale as you rotate through, and finish in the middle. Okay, let's move on to our first child's pose stretch. So from here, you're going to bring your toes together, move your knees a little bit further apart, and then sit your hips back towards your heels. Cross your arms in front of your forehead and then just rest your forehead onto your hands. We're going to hold these stretches for 3 minutes in this video, but ideally with these hip opening yin sequence stretches, you want to be holding between 3 and 5 minutes. So if you feel like you want to hold the stretch a little bit longer, at the end of the stretch, just pause the video and hold it for a couple more minutes. So at this point, all you're doing is allowing your body weight just to fall between your knees, just completely relaxing. Let the weight of your head just rest onto your forearms. And let your sit bones just sink down towards your heels. Deep breaths into the back of the chest. And on every exhale, just completely relax and let your ribs just hang. Now to deepen into the stretch, come up out of the stretch a little bit, open your knees a little bit wider, and then settle back down into the stretch. Full deep breaths into the back of your rib cage. And on every exhale, you just sink or melt a little bit deeper into the stretch. Just continue breathing into this stretch here. And now gently come out of that stretch, taking your time to close your knees. Now let's move into our butterfly stretch. Come to sitting down on your sit bones with your soles of your feet together, spine tall. There are a couple of variations of this stretch. If you straighten your legs out a little bit longer, you will get more of a stretch on the outer hip. And if you bring the feet a little closer towards you, you'll get more of a stretch on the inner thighs and the inside of the hip. So choose the version that works for you. Rounding yourself forward, place your forearms on the mat with your palms facing upwards, and then just relax and round your spine forward. The aim here isn't to force yourself into the stretch, but to completely relax, to surrender to gravity, and just allow the weight of your body to melt towards your legs. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Take deep breaths into the backs of your rib cage, and on every exhale, just see if you can melt a little bit further into the stretch. Remembering to allow your body to go deeper into the stretch rather than trying to make your body go into the stretch. Again, we'll hold this stretch for 3 minutes. Now slowly round up through your spine and come back to an upright position. For the next stretch, let's go down onto our backs with the knees bent. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then bring the legs in towards your chest for our reclining swan stretch. Your hands thread through to the front of the left knee, and you pull the legs in towards you. Taking care to reach your tailbone down towards the mat. Lengthening the back of the neck and just relaxing the chest and the shoulders. We're going to hold this for 3 minutes. Keep breathing into the stretch. And maybe on every exhale, you can gently bring the legs a little closer towards your body. Progressing on from this stretch, place the feet back down and this time cross your knees all the way over. Bring the legs in towards your chest and take hold of the knees and again gently ease your thighs towards your ribs. If this feels completely comfortable, bring your hands to the outside of your ankles and pull the ankles towards you to deepen into the outside hip stretch. Again, keep the tailbone relatively anchored on the mat, the back of the neck long, and the throat and shoulders just soft and relaxed. Again, breathe into this stretch and just try and relax completely. Now slowly release the legs back down, place the feet out along the mat, straightening the knees, and just flip the palms up. And let's spend a couple of breaths here in corpse pose. Now let's bend the knees back in and repeat on the other side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Bring the legs in towards your chest, threading your hands through to grab the front of your right knee. Gently ease the legs towards you, anchoring the tailbone gently down, lengthening the back of the neck, and relaxing the throat and shoulders. Take deep breaths, and on every exhale, see if you can ease the legs gently a little closer towards your body. Again, we'll hold this stretch. And now let's develop the stretch further on this side. Cross the knees over. Bring the legs back in towards your chest, taking hold of the knees, pulling the legs gently in towards you. And if this feels comfortable, grabbing the outside of the ankles once more and pulling the legs gently towards you, making sure the knees stay crossed. Keep anchoring the tailbone gently down and keep lengthening the back of the neck with a soft throat and shoulders. Slowly releasing the legs and placing the feet flat on the floor again. Let's now move on to a little bit of outside hip stretch and spinal rotation. Slide the legs out, bring the right knee in towards your chest. Rotate the hips over and bring the right knee down towards the mat. Stretch the right arm out along the mat and turn your head towards the right arm for a nice full spine twist. Take deep breaths, and on every exhale, just gently ease your hips a little bit deeper into the rotation. Again, let gravity do the work for you rather than forcing or pushing into the stretch. Now gently come out of the stretch, placing the pelvis back down. Give the leg a little squeeze into your chest and then slide it along the mat. Let's repeat the other side. Hug the left knee into the chest and then gently ease it around. Allow the pelvis to rotate. Extend the left arm along the mat and turn your head towards that extended left arm. Again, take deep breaths and just on every exhale, try and melt and relax a little deeper into the stretch, taking care not to force or push into the stretch. And now gently come back out, squaring the pelvis, giving the leg a little hug into your chest. Bring both knees into your chest now, and let's move into our final stretch, the happy baby pose. Place your hands around the soles of your feet and gently pull the knees down on either side of your rib cage. Flex the feet strongly so that the soles of your feet point up towards the ceiling. Again, as before, gently anchor your tailbone down towards the mat and lengthen the back of the neck. Take deep breaths here and just feel the opening on the inner thighs. On every exhale, gently ease your knees a little closer down towards the floor, taking care not to force the stretch, but allow gravity and the breath to ease you deeper into the stretch. Gently bring your feet back down, hug your knees into your chest, and just take a gentle rock from side to side, massaging the lower back into the mat. As a final relaxation pose, just stretch the legs out along the mat. Allow the legs to roll outwards. Flip your palms up to the ceiling. Allow the shoulders just to relax and the back of the neck to lengthen. And just lie in this position for a couple of breaths. Then when you're ready, bend the knees, roll over onto your side, and just bring yourself up to a seated position to finish off your hip opening sequence.